Om Bhurabhuvah Svah Tatsavituravarinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar my dear friends, in this video I am going to describe and explain Skanda Upanishad of Krishna Yajurveda. O Mahāḍeva, Lord of Ḍevas, I am indestructible through a small portion of thy grace. I am replete with Vijñāna. I am Shiva, Bliss. What is higher than it? Truth does not shine as such on account of the display of the anṭaḥkaraṇa, internal organs. Through the destruction of the anṭaḥkaraṇa, Hari abides as Samviṭ consciousness alone. As I also am of the form of Samviṭ, I am without birth. What is higher than it? All inert things being other than Āṭmā perish like dream. That Achyuṭa, the indestructible, or Vishnu, who is the seer of the conscious and the inert, is of the form of Jnāna. He only is Mahāḍeva. He only is Mahā-Hari, Mahāvishṇu. He only is the Jyotis of all Jyotis, or light of all lights. He only is Parameśvara. He only is Parabrahman, that Brahma I am. There is no doubt about it. Jīva is Shiva. Shiva is Jīva. That Jīva is Shiva alone. Bound by husk, it is paddy. Freed from husk, it is rice. In like manner, Jīva is bound by karma. If karma perishes, he, Jīva, is Saḍāśiva. So long as he is bound by the bonds of karma, he is Jīva. If freed from its bonds, then he is Saḍāśiva. Prostrations on account of Shiva, who is of the form of Vishnu, and on account of Vishnu, who is of the form of Shiva. The heart of Vishnu is Shiva. The heart of Shiva is Vishnu. As I see no difference between these two, therefore to me are prosperity and life. There is no difference between Shiva and Keśava, Vishnu. The body is said to be the divine temple. The Shiva in the body is the God Saḍāśiva in the temple. Having given up the cost of offerings of Ajnana, one should worship him with the thought, I am he. To see oneself as not different from him is Jnāna, wisdom. To make the mind free from sensual objects is Dhyana, meditation. The giving up of the strains of the mind is Snana, bathing. The subjugation of the senses is Socha, cleansing. The nectar of Brahma should be drunk. From the upkeep of the body, one should go about for alms and eat. He should dwell alone in a solitary place without a second. He should be with the sole thought of the non-dual one. The wise person who conducts himself thus attains salvation. Prostrations on account of Śrīmaṭ Param-Jyoṭis, supreme light abode, may prosperity and long life attend me. O Narasimha, O Lord of Ḍevas, through thy grace persons cognize the true nature of Brahma. that is unthinkable, undifferentiated, endless, and immutable through the forms of the gods Brahma, Narayana, and Sankara, like the eye which sees without any obstacle the things spread in the Akash. So the wise always see the supreme abode of Vishnu. Brahmas with divine eyes who are always spiritually awake praise in diverse and illuminates the supreme abode of Vishnu. Thus is the teaching of the Vedas for salvation. Thus is the Upanishad. So this Upanishad concludes. Now further I will describe and explain the Skanda Upanishad. Skanda Upanishad is one of the 108 Upanishads, perhaps the last one compiled by Vedvyasa. This Upanishad is believed to be from Krishna Yajurveda. The author and the date of composition of Skanda Upanishad are not known. The text emphasizes there is no difference between Shiva and Vishnu and that they are Vyavaharitis, emanations of Brahma alone. While this has been the thought from the Upanishads, the same concept has been extended to all mythological divinities. Upadevatas created by Puranas and praised by Bhagavad Gita, paying no heed to the results projected by it. Tvam Yajnatvam Vastarastvam Indratvam Rudratvam Vishnustvam Brahma Tvam Prajapati is the message of Manu. In all sectarian-oriented Puranas are hidden few rare mantras proclaiming equality of Shiva and Vishnu and also equating them with Brahma. I have been circulating them from time to time, sent by Muralidharan Iyer from Singapore. This Upanishad, unlike Ganpati Atharva Sirso Upanishad dedicated to his brother, does not dwell on long list of falsrutis, benefits derived by mere reading, and therefore joins the bandwagon of 108 Upanishads presumed to be compiled by Vedvyasa. Today there are more than 200 Upanishads. 108 is a mystic number and also considered a holy number. It is rather strange. Skanda, so celebrated in Adi Kavya Ramayana and glorified in an Upanishad among 108 Upanishad, is least known in the north, while Upadevata Ganesha have been pushed to the forefront and is the most popular deity worshipped by all Hindus. Myths and beliefs play a key role in modern Hindu worship, as could be seen in the popularity of Navagraha worship, also to the utter neglect of spiritual focus. We focus on deities that are supposed to solve our day-to-day problems. It is no surprise that Skanda Upanishad is not included among mantra pushpas published by Ramakrishna Math, while Ganpati Atharva Sirsopanishad is included along with Navagraha Sukta, playing to the gallery to satisfy the thirst of religious Hindus today. It is therefore not known to many, though his worship is very popular with Tamils who resort to Thirupuga. Skanda Upanishad is narrated by Skanda himself, the son of Shiva, just like Bhagwan Vacha of Bhagavad Gita. It contains only 15 hymns. Skanda addresses his father Shiva as the great god Mahāḍeva and says that he is a Deva due to Shiva's grace. He declares himself as Vijñāna, knowledge, Guru Guha, and Shiva, auspicious himself. This is in style resemble Bhagavad Gita or Yogopanishad, where Bhagavan is the narrator. Internal organs conceal the truth, and after their destruction, the god Vishnu emerges from the Samviṭ. All inert things except the Āṭmā, soul, are destroyed. The imperishable Achyuṭa, a name of Vishnu who discerns between consciousness and inertness, is identified with Jnāna, knowledge. Shiva, Vishnu, Parameśvara, the supreme God, the light of lights and supreme spirit, Brahma, absolute reality. Skanda declared he is that Brahma and is indestructible. Skanda says that Jīva, a living entity, is Shiva. Just as before husking it is paddy and after dehusking the grain it is rice. Similarly, bound by karma, it is a Jīva, and when liberated from karma, it becomes Shiva. Skanda then pays his respects to Shiva, who is form of Vishnu, and Vishnu, who is a form of Shiva. Further, Vishnu is said to dwell in the heart of Shiva, and vice versa. Shiva and Vishnu are the one and the same. By merging soul with Brahma, one attains emancipation, moksha. Skanda Upanishad further compares the body to the temple and the Jīva, life force, to Shiva. Like old flower offerings are cast away from the temple, Ajnana, ignorance, absence of Jnāna, should be thrown out from the body. God should be worshipped by the thought that self is the same as Brahma, which comes from Jnāna. Dhyana, meditation, should be to rid the mind of objects. Bathing is removing the dirt in the mind. Cleanliness is control over the senses. One must consume the drink of Brahma. One must live on alms and is a solitary place alone and realize the non-duality of the self. A prayer in first person follows. Obeisance is offered to the Supreme Light, wishing for prosperity and longevity. Vishnu as Narasimha and Shiva as Mahāḍeva are addressed. The hymen declares that by their grace people realize the incomprehensible Brahma, which transcends thoughts, is unmanifest and infinite and indestructible, but takes the form of the deities. Brahma, creator aspect, Vishnu, sustainer aspect, and Shiva, dissolution aspect. In Narasimha Tapniya Upanishad, Lord Narasimha is addressed with the same Panchanana epithet of Lord Shiva, like Sadyojata, Ghora, Ghora, etc., conveying thereby that both Shiva and Narasimha are none other than Parabrahman alone. The Skanda Upanishad ends with the hymen and the greatest step of Vishnu. The sages see forever like an eye stationed in heaven and wondering over this greatest step of Vishnu. The sage wide awake and kindle the sacrificial fire. This hymen is the same as Tad Vishnu Pranam Padam, and so originated from the Rig Veda and appears in many other Upanishadic texts also. We come across many references to Lord Kartikeya from various Puranas over the last few years, including the one prescription by Varaha Purana to pray to Lord Vishnu in the form of a Sadvaktra, six-faced, with the six most important names of Lord Kartikeya, underlying the universal truth of Sanatana Dharma, that the forms are many but Lord is one. The same Varaha Purana, a Vaishnavite manual, dismisses perceived difference between Vishnu and Shiva and tags those who harbor such differences as adharma. Though such endeavors may be the pastime of wicked dissectionists, they try to keep peeling the onion and end up at naught. It may be wise to leave such wasteful endeavors in the good hands of those who have nothing better to do in life. The same message is conveyed in Skanda Upanishad. The Hindu genius has the peculiar virtue of reconciling the irresponsible, like the host of Puranic mythological Upadevatas, as Brahma itself. At a time the Shiva and Vaishnava were at loggerheads. The story in Bhagavata of Shiva being enraptured by the voluptuous beauty of Vishnu as Mohini, the enchantress, has come in very handy. By its logical conclusion, it produced the wonderful deity Hariharputra known as Ayyappan, so popularly worshipped by devotees of all traditions in India in general and Kerala in particular. The text of Skanda Upanishad. Oh, may He protect us from the both together. May He nourish us both together. May we work conjointly with great energy. May our study be vigorous and effective. May we not mutually dispute, or may we not hate any. Oh, may there be peace in me. Let there be peace in my environment. Let there be peace in the forces that act on me. O Sahasranvatu Sahanu Bhuktu Sahasviryam Karvani Vahi Tejasvi. Shloka number 1 to 5. Skanda says, Great God, owing to an iota of your compassion, I am the lapseless being, not lapsing from the identity. I am a mass of knowledge. I am also the good. What more can I need? Owing to the waxing of the internal organ, what is not spiritual appears as such by its warning. This is nothing but pure knowledge or Hari. I am knowledge alone, unborn. What more? All that is other than it, Brahma, is inert and perishes like a dream. He who discerns the consciousness as distinct from the inert is the unswarming mass of knowledge. Only He is Shiva, Hari, luminary of luminaries, the Supreme God, the Brahma. I am that Brahma, surely. Jīva is Shiva and Shiva is Jīva. When bound by husk, it is paddy, unbound of is rice. Thus the bound one is Jīva, released from karma, he is eternal Shiva. Bound by ropes, he is Jīva, unbound Shiva, Jīva, Jīva, Shiva. So, I bow to Shiva of the form of Vishnu, and Vishnu who is Shiva. Vishnu is Shiva's heart and Shiva. Vishnu, just as Vishnu is full of Shiva, so is Shiva full of Vishnu. As I see no difference, I am well all my life. Our body is said to be the temple, the deity Shiva, in it is Jīva. One should throw away the flowers after worship and worship with the sense of identity. Perception of non-difference is knowledge. Meditation, the objectless mind. The bath is removal of mental impurity. Cleanliness is control of the senses. One should drink the nectar of Brahma, take alms for sustenance, live by oneself devoid of duality. Such a person of wisdom will get liberation. I bow to this supreme sacred seat of power to secure well-being and long life. They know themselves to be Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, beyond thought, unmanifest, endless, non-decaying by your grace, Narasimha. That high place of Vishnu, the wise one, always behold like an eye extended in heaven. The sages praising and awake exalt that supreme status of Vishnu. This is the doctrine of liberation according to the Vedas. Om, may He protect us both together, may He nourish us both together, may we work conjointly with great energy, may our study be vigorous and effective, may we not mutually dispute or may we not hate any. Om, let there be peace in me, let there be peace in my environment, let there be peace in the forces that act on me. Om. So in the short span of 15 mantras, this text from Karshna Yajurveda supplies valuable pointers to the non-dual truth proclaimed everywhere in the Vedantas. Some of its remarks can right away turn the reader meditative. You are clean when you have your sense under check, says for example one of its mantras, shedding new light on the value of shaucha taken normally as physical cleanliness. This webinar will present a bird's eye view of this profound scripture, which has a sharp focus on self-knowledge and which dwells on the essentials without digression into secondary stuff. So this is the brief description of Skanda Upanishad. So this ends this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar my dear friend. Thank you.